宾来，我要去做一些那个学校的行政工作。Okay, I was late, and I thought, oh my God, you are late again. So how unprofessional, but you know, Yiping has always. Oh my God. Anyway, but I sent Xiujun and Gee's comments, you know, that helped me to refocus my not closely enough reading sketch of your, you know, sketching reading of your book. And I was reading to her comments, to Gee's comments, and to Zhiming's anecdotes, and also to this wavy intellectual discussion. And then it dawned on me, you know, and this is again very impressionistic. But I think this is something, you know, I felt very, when reading this one, I felt on the one hand very touched, as Xiujun has mentioned. You know, again, different from Xiujun, I was totally converted, okay? Maybe just 2 pages down, I was totally converted, okay? Because I knew this is so Wilsonian, you know, your prose, your passion, not religious passion for the study of literature, but then, you know, something was not right, and I didn't know what that was.
Okay,
and,
I'll try to answer that. Yeah, I think you're actually right. I mean, I think that's very helpful because it's a little bit like Clifford's remark that your life, your journey is the manifest destiny, east to west, and then kept going. And then I always connected that to Dharma Bum journey. So I think what I'm trying to do is actually take that errand into Oceania in such a way that it will fall apart and be perverted and transformed into something else where there's a kind of a humbling of the American will to dominate the space, but to actually connect to the space in a non-imperial kind of way. So, and even linguistically, I'm not trying to, you know, convert people into hegemonic American English. I think it's where American English converts into pigeonized poetics. And so, I mean, I think you're right. There is a trajectory, and there is an Asia-Pacific, Oceania kind of learning going on. Part of it's an unlearning, and part of it, I guess, in between the lines would be a way in which that whole errand, New England errand, falls apart in Oceania and gets waterlogged, gets shipwrecked, you know, really transmutes into something else. And so therefore, that's actually the turn to eco-poetics, and again, the planetary, so that we, I mean, the northern, you know, first world powers can really begin to learn from different values, you know, with humility, with respect, that we really need to unlearn a lot of our exploitative values, you know, towards water, towards land, towards exchange. So the idea of a transnational community, you know, linking Hsinchu and San Jose and Newark is okay by me, you know, but as long as we're then saying, okay, but we still really need to radically, you know, relearn and learn from all these other kinds of knowledges, you know, and I mean, I'm not a pure primitivist, you know, so I'm not saying, you know, just, you know, renativize and, you know, move to Orchid Island or something. But I'm saying, you know, we can actually learn, you know, something in, if you can begin to learn stuff from Pacific Northwest people who work at Orchid Island, and then have that, you know, link to stuff in San Francisco, that's very helpful. I mean, the beatniks of San Francisco can teach you something about how to live in multicultural San Francisco, West Coast, but they can't teach you a lot of other things. So, I mean, you're absolutely right, and I'm aware of that danger, but I'm trying to kind of undo it with irony, with vision, with a kind of a heteroglossic complexity. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right to be suspicious. Watch out. You know, the Americans are coming, spatially coming again, declaring non-imperial intentions, etc. But yeah.
I think we have the last question, Professor.
Very, very simple question for Robin. I recall years ago I read an article by you, and the article contains the political economical term APEC.
APEC, yeah.
But obviously, it seems to me that you have avoided using such a term. Instead, you are using Oceania Trans-Pacificism or something like that. Any reason for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think APEC is one of those frameworks in which the dominant language of community exchange linkage is neoliberal market language, and so that's one of the hegemonic forms, and it works in some ways, but it really needs to be supplemented and challenged in a lot of other ways. And so Paley Hau'ofa also challenges APEC, Pacific Rim, and those kind of things. So Oceania and Trans-Pacific have a kind of a complexity of cultural, political exchange and interaction that APEC doesn't even come close to. If this was the APEC meeting, we would all wear like the Oceania shirts and smile, and we would have like the cultural cover for the economic exchange, and I realize that's the dominant code now, but even the dominance of market language has really been given had the wind taken out of its sail. It looked like, economics was like the master language of understanding, how the world is kind of glued together, and that actually I think people are beginning to see the dangers of that, and they really are seeing that there has to be other, cultural, spiritual, political ways of linking up these spaces, and that the economic one is kind of hollow in some ways. It's kind of hollowed and dangerous, So APEC, APEC was one of the frameworks that I think needs to be challenged and supplemented by other ways of understanding the Trans-Pacifics.
Okay, I would like to thank you very much for Professor Wilson's very wonderful presentation, very thoughtful, thought-provoking, enlightening speech. I think many of us here in the process of being converted to your idea, but still we try to resist somehow as the, how shall I say, special tribute to your very thought-provoking ideas. And also we would like to thank our two very thought-provoking respondents who give those very interesting ideas so that we have very lively discussions. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you.